Going? Real? Hey, this is Maho, Edwin, and Mustard bringing you an audio commentary. We're commentating on the final between Anytime and Boxer in 2005. This is one of my favorite Protoss vs Terran maps, and this is match 4 out of 5, so hope we're going to see a good game here. This is... oh, it should come up soon. Yeah, I forget what map this is on.
I had no idea what the map was.
It usually comes up in the like title loading screen, though. So we're looking at 2-1 to Anytime, but Boxer won the last game, so maybe we're seeing the beginning of a comeback here. These are epic matches between two of the pros when they were at their height of dominance. Yeah, Boxer was, nigh on untouchable at this point.
Was this just before he did the Air Force?
Yeah. I think maybe a year or half a year before he joined the Air Force, so he was still going really strong, showing the world how to innovate with Terran and also play a really macro-intensive game. But in Game 3, we saw a really rushed strategy from Boxer, so we just see again how adaptable he is in his strategy and how he can show people strategies they're not expecting from him and win the game that they don't think they can play.
Anytime's a bit of a macro monster, isn't he, if I recall?
Yeah, that's right. His macro is really strong.
I haven't watched a lot of his games.
Yeah, me neither, to be honest. I haven't actually heard of the guy that much.
Yeah, well, he's been coming back in the latest Pro Leagues and Star Leagues, but he's not doing so well these days. Oh, is he?
I think so.
Oh, on Ace. Okay. So...
it might be his second win, as the other commentators tend to say.
Yeah. He hasn't been doing too well, but who was the final for the recent, Pro Stars, like Stars Comeback League? Savior versus...
Savior beat Nada?
Oh, Nada. Yeah. I think Nada beat Anytime in that as well. So Nada's still pretty good and better than Anytime these days as well.
Yeah.
But back then, he really knew how to play a massive game.
It's kind of unfair though, because Savior's been on pro teams this whole time, and a lot of those people in the tournament, they hadn't been playing. Like, what was?
Well, you can never count Nada out though. Nada did really well in that tournament.
Yeah.
But he completely beat him.
I was amazed by that actually, because you haven't seen Nada play very much recently, but he really owned in that tournament. He showed he still has perfect mastery over his race.
Was it Nalra, the guy who was a toss player? Then went to contact. He was terrible.
He's gone downhill, but he doesn't play much.
Yeah, that's the thing. Whereas Savior does. So it was really unfair when Savior would play Nalra.
Yeah.
Still an entertaining tournament. What I don't understand though, where was July Zerg?
This is a bit of a confusing map. How does it work?
This is Blitz. So you start off. It's similar to. Midnight Monsoon or whatever that map was. Basically, you have a raised starting position with a fairly spread out platform, and then below that there's one natural nearby, and then a further extended natural that's harder to defend. I think it's outside your bridge or something. But yeah, so this map can support tech rushes because you can block your ramp off quite easily.
Well, we've got Boxer coming straight into Anytime's base here.
Yeah, Boxer showing again his great scouting at all times, just being on top of what his opponent's doing. I don't think, Anytime hasn't scouted him yet, so he's just going to push the regular goon build, I guess, get in his face, pressure his front door, and also keep on top of what he's doing at the time.
I love that about Terran though, they're so adaptable through the early to mid game in terms of different rush strategies. Like you can push in with Marines. I mean, not so much against TOS though. Against TOS you don't see Marines, do you?
No, but Marines make a great surprise strategy, and most Protoss don't expect it coming, which is why it does allow for a lot of flexibility. Protoss, you always expect they're going to send in a couple of Zealots or something, so you'll always just have a lightly defensive build prepared for any early game stuff.
Well, don't forget on Destination when we played that last time when I did that.
Right.
4 SCV rush.
I realized how ineffective Zealots are against a big group of Marines. If it's mid game, the Zealots once they've got their speed, they'll
when
waste
you micro 3 Marines against a Zealot, that's much harder than microing 4 or 5.
And NSCVs are overpowered as hell. You spam click them and they attack
back
60 life.
It's ridiculous. They're so fucking overpowered, and they can heal each other.
Yeah.
It's fucking gay.
Team buddies of StarCraft.
And when you get a good SCV block in front of your Marines, against Zerglings or Zealots or whatever, it's fucking irritating.
Yeah, it is a bit. nice advantage of him being Terran, though. I mean, to be honest, they're relatively defenseless without their SUVs, though.
It makes up for some inconsistencies in the race early on, so I like how the race balances
So
out
he's
like
got
that.
that two-rune pressure build.
Yeah, that's right. And he'll just push out. We see that he's going very standard Protoss strategy. This is something that most Protoss tend to go for, because you can't really innovate or push much pressure, save a proxy in the early game. So you'll be looking to do something surprising in the late, early to mid game. Maybe pull out a fast expansion or get some Reavers in there and harass their economy. He's not being as aggressive as I hope. He's blocking off his base, so maybe he's just going to try and play the macro game against him.
There's a real vulnerable point for Terran versus Protoss when they're trying to get that first tank out.
Yeah.
You notice? Like, if the...
Ramp equalizes that disadvantage, though. Oh, and he's got the tank now.
I'm just saying, if the Toss can get enough goons in before you get that tank out, like, Terrans just can't win.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of sucks.
And I think that's something Anytime has missed out on in this match. You should make them pay for that imbalance
But
anytime you can.
Here. You can easily target down attacks. Oh, you can't do that easily.
Oh, it looks like he was waiting for range and he's got it up, but he's just got too many tanks out now.
Yeah.
Siege mode will be up in a moment, so he's not going to get anywhere on that round.
Well, also he scouted in the wrong direction, which is probably why because he didn't know what his opponent was going.
Yep, warping in a robotics facility now.
Yeah.
So he should be able to get some either Reavers in there or be able to drop his Dragoons on top of the ramp and bring the fight right in the face of the siege tanks, who always win at range because they're cheap bastards.
They're such good units.
Yeah.
Like, even not in siege mode, they just rip ground to pieces.
I've been thinking recently, most races' strategies revolve around what their strongest unit is, and I think for Terran, your whole strategy has to revolve around tanks.
Well, siege tanks represent the whole Terran playstyle.
Yeah, big cannons, shoot them before they can even get into you. Yeah.
Exactly, like there's just impenetrable defense if set up correctly.
Oh, and he's played a hidden factory over on the right, so should be able to get some vulture harass in if he extends too far with his goons.
He's moving out vultures, and obviously anytime watching the entrance, but he doesn't know there's a proxy.
Yeah.
What would you say the Protoss unit is?
I think it's Dragoon actually.
I would agree.
Dragoon or Zealot.
If you go carriers,
I would say Dragoons, because even against Zerg, you want to have a lot of Zealots. But actually, what you need to not underestimate is the power of the Protoss core. You know, a mid-range thing. Dragoons supporting the Zealots, but still dealing a large amount of damage. Yeah, against Terran, you just got to have them. Represents Protoss style. You know,